Hello and welcome to this episode of Carmen's Coaching Corner. My name is Carmen Payne and I am the owner and creator of SOAR Transformational Life Coaching. And this episode is about a process to help you think about where would you like to be 3 years from now. And it's around the topic of visualization. So in the previous episodes I've spoken about vision boards, and I've also talked on magical creation box, which is kind of a slightly different version of a vision board. And this time what I want to focus on is those of you who prefer to write things down, that you either like to type things up or you like to journal. This is a really great process for you if you're that way inclined. Now, what this process does for you is it helps you to really kind of get clear around if you could have anything 3 years from now that feels realistic to you, what would that look like for you? And the process is quite simple, but it does take some thought, and it does take time to write it out. And maybe it may take you a couple of days or 3 days, maybe a week, to just kind of put it all together and just really write everything out that you want to kind of create 3 years from today. So how do I do this process? Well, what I do first is I kind of get quiet and I just kind of sit and kind of in a meditative kind of state, just sit down and think about if there were no limitations, what would your life look like 3 years from now? And what I do is I get a piece of paper and I write down on that piece of paper, okay, I break my life into different categories. So it could be career, health, finances, relationships, what you want to do in your community, where do you want to travel, what kind of home would you like experience would you like to have, what kind of romance would you like to have. And I write those down on a piece of paper, all these different headings, different areas of my life that I would like to sit and visualize and meditate on where I see myself 3 years from now. And it doesn't matter which order you do it in, just pick one that speaks to you first. So as you're sitting with that area of your life, maybe it's your finances, and you say, okay, where would I like my finances, my financial picture to look like 3 years from now? And so as you sit and you think about that, well, what would you like your retirement, you know, would you like to be saving for your retirement if you're not already doing so? What kind of money would you like to have in your bank account? What kind of financial policies would you like, you know, to have, like life insurance policies or savings policies or things like that? What would your financial picture look like? What kind of money would you like to be earning 3 years from now? And maybe you break it down into like year one, maybe 2019, you want to earn this much money. 2020, you want to earn this much money. And I forgot about this year, 2018, I want to be earning this much money, right? So you go from this year, 3 years out from today's date, or whichever date you start writing this, and you start to visualize in your mind initially what it is you want to experience in your life. And you basically do that for each area of your life, right? You just sit there and you just write out as if nothing's limiting you, what you want to manifest in your life, what do you want to bring into your reality if nothing was in your way, right? And just take time to write that out, journal it out. I did mine in a Word document because I like to type things out, but I started by writing it out first and kind of just jotting down and doing kind of like a brain dump. Oh God, if for my business, right? What do I want that to look like 3 years from now? My relationships with my family and my friends. What do I want to what I want to experience 3 years from now? With my partner, Joshua, what do I want to experience with him romantically 3 years from now? Where do I want to travel, right? What do I want to be doing in my community? What kind of volunteer work do I want to be doing? What kind of health do I want to be in? You know, what do I want to be in the best shape of my life 3 years from now, right? What kind of career path do I want to go down? What will my coaching career look like 3 years from now? And you write it as if it's actually happening. You're already 3 years into the future, and you're writing as if it's happening already. So you're writing it in the present tense, but it's 3 years from now. So take time doing this process. And then when you've got it written out, and there's nothing to say that you can't tweak it as you think of more things that you'd like to add. Once you've got it written out, schedule time in your calendar every week to just read through it. Just take time to read through it, and then just get that re-inspired feeling, and let those emotions about how excited you are about what your life is going to look like 3 years from now. I schedule once a week in my calendar a reminder to read my 3-year future self projection. Again, it just keeps me focused on where I'm going. Right? So where is it you want to be 3 years from now? And write that down in those different areas of your life. And, you know, again, I put the heading career. Where do I see myself in my career three years from now? In the present tense. Health. What do I want to be doing with my, you know, how healthy do I want to be with my body? Do I want it to be super fit and toned? Do I just want to be eating really well, nutritionally, have good nutrition going into my body? My relationships. Do I want to, you know, I want to be able to see my family at least once or twice a year 3 years from now. That would be really awesome, because they live in England and in Malta. My family aren't able to necessarily come out and see me, but if I can make it happen that I can go see them more frequently, that would be great, right? Travel. Where do I want to travel 3 years from now? There's so many places that I've already been, but I still want to go. And I just see myself traveling to all these awesome, amazing places that have ancient ruins, because that kind of geeks me out. I love going to see things like pyramids and ancient ruins, right? So I see myself 3 years from now doing exactly that, going on these holidays where I can go and experience ancient ruins in Mexico or in Bolivia or in Egypt, those kind of places, or Colombia or Cambodia, right? Those kind of places. So sit down with a piece of paper, put the headings for each area of your life of where you would feel inspired to write about 3 years from now. And then once you've written it out, once a week, plan to read through it that during a specific time of the day. Maybe it's before you go to bed one night, or maybe on a Monday morning you get up and the first thing you do is you pull out your future self projection and you read it, right? So this process does take time to write out, but if you're one of those people that loves to write, this should be a piece of cake for you. Tell me what you think of this process if you've tried it. I love reading it, and my partner actually accidentally read it because I had it out on my screen and I said, hey, read this, thinking it was another document. He read it and he was very moved by where I see myself 3 years from now. So maybe you write one out, and if you have a significant other, they write it out as well, and then you can share it, and that way you can support each other and where you want to be in the future, right? It's just a way to co-create together if that's the case for you. Anyway, once this, like I said, if you've try this process, and comment on the video below if this process spoke to you, what came up for you as you were writing it. I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to receive coaching from me, you can contact me at soar.tlc@gmail.com. You can also connect with me via my website, soartlc.com. As always, in love and light to your transformation, Carmen. To get started, please call or email me or schedule an appointment on my website.